Hey, I've spoken to a lot of course creators, and one of the reasons why they're stuck in the course creation limbo is because of that daunting task in creating or writing the course content. But here's the thing, the reason why it can be overwhelming is because they're asking the wrong question. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the right questions to ask in order to get your course structure down packed. So, stay tuned.
Hey there, it's Hazel June, and like what I've mentioned in this video, we're going to be talking about creating the course content. So most aspiring course creators, they normally ask themselves, how do I create the content for my course? And that's where most people get it wrong. When you create your content for the course, don't start with what you know. Start with where your ideal students are currently at. What do I mean by this? When you start with the question, how do I create the content for my course? Then that perspective actually creates this process of making the course creation process information centric. Because now you're talking about content, right? Instead of focusing on your students, if you focus on your students' current situation, their current problems, and their desired end results, then that creates a shift in your creation process. Because then when you start creating the content for your course, you're not just going to be focusing on the information that you need to include in the course. You're going to be focusing on the steps that your ideal students have to take in order to get from point A to point B. And that makes a huge difference in your course. Because when you focus on information, we're actually just focusing on just concepts, theories, right? It doesn't prompt your students to implement, to execute. But if you focus on the steps that your students need to take, then your content becomes results oriented. Now you're talking about action steps that your students have to do in order to get to where they want to be. So again, information-centric versus results-oriented content. Two different things. Now here's another important reason why you want to make your content results-oriented rather than focusing too much on information. There's actually research on Statista.com, and they said that the self-paced online learning market has generated $23.34 billion in revenue in 2016. So that's what, 24 years ago, right? But in 2021, this year, that's actually expected to decrease to 16.97 billion US dollars. And that is a huge decline, don't you think? So what does that mean for you? Well, that means that students nowadays, or people nowadays, are actually not into self-paced courses anymore. They're fed up with just pure information intake. They need more than information. They want more accountability and support. So if you are thinking of creating an online course, you got to step up your game. You have to think of how you can make your course transformational instead of just pure information. So how do you do that? How do you exactly make your course transformational? And I sort of touched base on this earlier, but here are the questions you need to ask, okay? And it basically boils down to one thing, and that is getting to know your students, okay? Like literally, seriously, get to know your students. Like you have to ask, you have to understand where they're currently at, because you gotta meet them where they're at right now in order for them to relate to you. right? So you have to ask yourself, where are my students currently at right now? What's their current situation? How does that look like? Where do they want to go? What end result do they want to achieve? And what struggles are they having in relation to your course idea? What is their main roadblock? What's getting in the way? What have they tried in the past that didn't work? And most importantly, how can you help them get to where they want to be? Once you've gotten a good understanding of their current situation, of their desired destination, and the struggles that they're facing, then you can start coming up with your solution. You can come up with a solution, you can create a roadmap, and you can start outlining the steps that's going to help them get to point B from point A. And that is how you actually create or map out your course structure or your course outline. And if you think about it, that's what makes it transformational, because you are helping them getting from where they're at right now to where they want to be. Think of it this way. Your students right now is in a specific place, a place that they don't want to be in. What they want is to be in a different place. However, they don't have a car. They don't have any means to get to that different place, or they do not know how to get there. They don't have a direction. They don't know where to turn. They don't know where to go. They don't know if they need to turn right, turn left, go to the northern part. They don't have a direction. They don't have a map on how to get to that different place. And so when you create your course, your task is not just to have or create the car. That's going to take them from where they're at right now to that different place. Part of your task or your job as a course creator is also mapping out the road or the direction that they need to follow so they don't get lost. You got to be very specific on the steps that they need to do, the turns they need to take, the specific directions that they need to follow in order for them to be in that different place. So your course is not just the car, but also the direction or the map that you have created. I hope that makes sense. So that's basically it. That's what you want to really ask yourselves, and that's the type of perspective or shift that you need to be in order to create your course, okay? Because your online course is not an info dump site, okay? Do not focus too much on information, because again, informative courses don't create transformation. Informative courses educate, but results-oriented courses or content transforms. And that's exactly what your students are looking for. They're looking for results, not information. Because if they're just looking for information, they could have just Googled it, right? Why not waste the money getting a course if they can only get information? They need to know exactly what they want to do, where exactly they need to be in order to get to their desired destination. And that is your job as a course creator when you start mapping out the content for your course. So again, don't focus on information, focus on your goal. Focus on the results your course is going to deliver. And that is how you make your courses transformational. So if you like this video, this little educational video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I actually release a video every single week. So you can expect a new video on course creation goodness, another course creation goodness next week. And again, if you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe. Also hit that bell button because that's going to notify you whenever I release a new video. All right? Well, until then, my friend, I'll go ahead and see you and talk soon. Bye for now.